Welcome to the deep dive. If you feel like the world is constantly shifting beneath your feet, especially, when it comes to technology, you're definitely not alone.
Oh, absolutely. It feels like things change almost daily, doesn't it?
They really do. And what worked yesterday might just, not be enough to really thrive today.
That's the crux of it. In this tech evolution, kind of staying clued in isn't just smart, it's becoming pretty essential.
That's a really powerful point, and that's exactly what we're getting into today, this deep dive. It's an exploration of three, I think, critical concepts reshaping how we navigate things. Digital leadership, AI literacy, and that really thought-provoking hypothesis of the singularity.
Yeah, and our mission here is to pull out the most important bits, the key insights from this fascinating YouTube transcript we looked at. We want to help you quickly grasp what these terms actually mean.
And why they matter, right? For your own growth, your personal life, but also your professional path.
Exactly. Why it's relevant now.
Okay, let's unpack this then. So let's start with digital leadership. This isn't, just another buzzword floating around. It feels like a concept that's genuinely emerged maybe over the last few years.
Definitely. It's born directly from how technology is just constantly weaving itself into, everything. Work, life, all of it.
So how would we define it? At its core?
Well, the source defines it as basically an individual's ability to learn and adapt effectively, to lead in this increasingly complex digital age.
Adapt effectively. That seems key.
It is. Because while those timeless leadership qualities, they're still incredibly important, digital leadership adds these new layers. It sort of demands a different mindset.
Like what kind of mindset?
Almost like needing a continuous software update for your leadership style, focused on iterative growth, constantly learning.
That's a great analogy. A software update for leadership. And one of the big differences, I suppose, between traditional and digital leadership has to be communication, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, massively. In traditional setups, face-to-face was king. You had that immediate connection, saw the nonverbal stuff.
Yeah, you could read the room easily.
Right. But what's really insightful here is the shift for digital leaders. They have to get good at using virtual platforms, email, video calls, social media, Slack, you name it.
And that means conveying messages super clearly without relying on seeing someone nod or, frown.
Exactly. And being aware of potential misinterpretations. Plus, fostering that sense of psychological safety when your team isn't physically together, that's a whole new challenge. Trying to replicate that nuance is tough.
It really is a huge shift in skill. And it's not just the how of communication, is it? It's also the who and where. The scope of influence seems totally different.
That's the other key difference, yeah. Traditional leaders, usually focused on specific teams, maybe an organization, often quite localized.
Right, you knew your direct reports, your department.
But digital leaders, because everything's so interconnected, their reach can literally be global. They might be dealing with diverse cultures, managing communication across time zones, often asynchronously.
Which must expand their perspective massively.
It does, and it allows for collaboration on a scale we just haven't seen before.
Okay, so big differences in communication and scope, but are there still common threads? Things that haven't changed?
Oh, absolutely. It's vital to remember that both styles demand strong interpersonal skills. Things like, empathy, really listening actively, making effective decisions. Those are foundational.
So the need to inspire people, set clear goals, provide guidance, that stays the same.
Exactly. The core goal remains inspiring others, uniting them towards common objectives. The tools change, the reach expands, but leading people effectively, that's still the heart of it.
Agreed. That makes sense. The essence remains. Okay, so building on that idea of adapting to this digital world, there's one area that just feels impossible to ignore right now. Artificial intelligence. AI. And that brings us straight to our second concept. AI literacy. In a world increasingly, dominated by AI, this feels like a skill that's fast becoming non-negotiable.
Absolutely critical. It's defined basically as the ability to understand and use AI tech critically and effectively, both in your daily life and at work.
Critically and effectively. So not just using it, but thinking about how you use it.
Precisely. It's not just about knowing AI is out there. It's about actually being competent with it. And the source we looked at breaks AI literacy down into 4 key parts, 4 essential components.
Okay, what's the first one?
First is basically knowing and understanding AI. So learning how it works, its basic functions, the techniques it uses, the concepts behind it.
So not necessarily becoming a coder, but getting the gist, like understanding that AI learns by spotting patterns in huge amounts of data.
Exactly. Kind of like how we learn from experience, but potentially without our human biases.
Huh?
Unless, of course, those biases are already baked into the data it's trained on.
Okay. That's a crucial caveat. What's number 2?
Second is the ability to actually use and apply that AI knowledge effectively in different situations, daily life, work tasks.
And considering the ethics while you do it.
Yes, always considering the ethical side. It's not just theory. It's about practical application and seeing the real-world impact these tools have.
Right. Okay, number 3. This one feels important.
It really is. Third is evaluating AI. This is the skill of checking, assessing an AI's performance. Is it accurate? Is it reliable?
And this connects to data literacy, doesn't it?
It absolutely includes data literacy, knowing how to evaluate where the training data came from, its quality. Because, like we touched on, if that data is flawed, maybe it's not representative or it reflects historical prejudices.
Then the AI's output will likely be flawed too. Unfair results, inaccurate information.
Precisely. Garbage in, garbage out, essentially.
Okay, and the final element, number 4.
And finally, number 4 is AI ethics, using AI with careful thought about its impact on people and society.
So thinking about things like transparency, can we understand how it makes decisions?
Exactly. Transparency, accountability, like who's responsible if an AI messes up, and actively trying to avoid uses that could cause harm or unfairness.
This is where we hit those real-world dilemmas, isn't it? Like AI in hiring, or maybe even in medical diagnosis.
Right. These are the tough questions AI ethics forces us to confront.
So let's tie this back. Why does AI literacy matter so much for you listening right now?
Well, it's vital because it equips you to use AI well, effectively, and ethically, to navigate its power, but also its pitfalls.
And looking ahead, it prepares you for the rapid technological changes that are, let's face it, still coming down the track.
Definitely. It's about future-proofing your skill set, in a way.
Okay, so AI literacy helps us deal with AI today. But what about AI's potential future? A future that some people think could be so radical it reshapes, well, everything.
Now we're getting into the technological singularity.
Right. And it's important to stress this isn't like a current fact. It's a hypothesis, isn't it?
Yes, a very powerful hypothesis. It basically posits a future point where artificial intelligence evolves so rapidly, maybe exponentially, that it leads to changes in human civilization that are just kind of unforeseeable, transformative.
Exactly. Unforeseeable and transformative. The core idea, the prediction it rests on, is AI developing this capability for self-improvement.
Meaning AI gets better at making itself smarter, which makes it even better at making itself smarter, and so on. A runaway effect.
Precisely. A recursive loop. The hypothesis suggests AI can become so super intelligent that it simply surpasses our human ability to understand it, let alone interact with its processes.
Wow. We just wouldn't be able to keep up. Or even grasp what it's doing.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
It's almost like, well, your analogy earlier, trying to explain quantum physics to an amoeba, the gap becomes too vast.
That scale of intelligence is it's genuinely mind-bending. And the potential outcome described in the source, it talks about entering a borderless bionic era or even machine body AI. Yeah, phrases that really highlight how transformative and maybe overwhelming such a concept could be. It challenges our fundamental ideas about biology and technology.
So if we connect this singularity idea to the bigger picture, what are the implications?
Well, it raises these incredibly profound questions, doesn't it? About the future of humanity itself, our role in a world that might have superintelligent AI, even the definition of what intelligence or consciousness means.
It really forces you to consider our place, maybe not just on Earth, but in the cosmos. Heavy stuff.
Very heavy stuff, but important to think about, even as a hypothesis.
Okay, let's try and weave these 3 threads together then. We've talked digital leadership, AI literacy, and the singularity. How do they connect?
Well, you could think of it like this. Digital leadership is really about adapting to the current tech-driven world we're already in. Mastering communication, influence, learning in these digital and virtual spaces.
Okay, that's the now.
Right. Then AI literacy is a critical skill needed within that world. It's about engaging effectively, critically, ethically with arguably the most impactful technology shaping that world right now, AI.
So the skill for the present and near future.
Exactly. And then the singularity, that represents a potential future state, a distant horizon maybe, that both digital leaders and AI literate individuals might eventually have to navigate.
It's like the ultimate test of that adaptability we talked about with digital leadership. What happens when the rules of the game just completely change?
Precisely. It frames the long-term context for why adaptability and understanding technology are so crucial.
So thinking about all this,
Yeah.
what does it mean for you listening?
Yeah, what's the takeaway?
Well, I think it's about recognizing these aren't just, academic terms or buzzwords. They're fundamental pieces of figuring out our present and preparing for whatever comes next.
So the question for you is, how do these insights apply to your own learning, your job, your understanding of where things might be headed? And it raises another important question, I think. Given how fast technology is already changing, are we, collectively ready for the implications?
Do we have the right leadership? The necessary level of AI literacy? The foresight to guide these developments?
Or are we just kind of along for the ride, hoping for the best? It's a critical thought.
We've certainly covered a lot of ground today, from the adaptive skills needed for digital leadership right now,
to the really crucial components of AI literacy for engaging with today's tech.
and even peering into that speculative, potentially profound future of the singularity.
And hopefully it's clear how intertwined these concepts are. Each one is pretty vital for understanding our world as it evolves so rapidly.
So maybe a final thought to leave you with, building on what we've discussed.
Yeah.
As AI continues its path, maybe even toward that self-improvement the singularity hypothesis talks about.
Yeah.
Should our focus only be on adapting to it?
Or should we also be focused on actively shaping its trajectory? And crucially, what role does our collective AI literacy play in our ability to actually do that shaping?
That's a deep one. Definitely something to mull over.
A thought to consider as you continue your own deep dive into these really fascinating and frankly vital topics.